This video is just a quick lesson over key features of linear equations, or we could say of functions, linear functions, okay? You're supposed to be able to graph linear functions on the coordinate plane and identify key features including the x-intercept, y-intercept, zeros, and slope. Okay, we've already looked at a couple of these. We're going to look at two others, but just as a reminder, what we've already looked at, we have certainly looked at slope, and we have looked at the y-intercept. Our last lesson was about this equation, y equals mx plus b. The coefficient in front of the x in a linear equation is the slope. And then the plus b, this number here, is the y-intercept. That's where it intersects the y-axis. And that's when the x is 0, what is the y? All right, and then here is a look at, this may be a little blurry, but here's again a look at the y-intercept, so you know what that is. But then we also have the x-intercept. That's where our graph crosses the x-axis. That's when the value of y is 0, so you go over on the x-axis and then you do not go up or down at all on the y-axis because that is 0. So that's called the x-intercept. Here is a couple different diagrams of that. Again, here is an x-intercept. It's at -4, 0, but technically we could just call the x-intercept in this example, we could call it -4. And then the y-intercept up here, it's at 0, 6, but we could call that 6. Our y-intercept would be 6. And then again, here's a diagram over here. I'm gonna blow that up just a little bit. Again, our graph crosses the x-axis at 5, 0. Coordinates would be 5, 0, but we would call the x-intercept 5. And then only other thing I need to make sure you understand is the x-intercept is also called and known as the 0, okay? The reason it is called a 0, if you think about, again, the table, in this specific graph, you can see here that when x is 2, then the y is 0. So when we're talking about an equation, your y is the output, so your output is 0, so we would often call this a 0. So the x-intercept and the 0 are known as the same thing. So just remember that we use these interchangeably. If you're asked for the x-intercept or asked for the 0 of a graph or of an equation, you look at the graph, where does it cross the x-axis? That's the x-intercept or the 0. Look in your table and your output is 0. The x would be, this would be the 0, the 2, okay? All right, and that is a look at key features of our linear equations.